Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 424, written by ascrumner, taking VR gaming to an astral level. 3 nights ago, I was in my daughter's 19 room, and she went downstairs to get a snack. When she was downstairs, I heard her say, "Where are you hiding?" So I asked who she was talking to. She said her brother, 17. Her brother was dead asleep in his room, so I said, "No, he's asleep in his room." After a pause, she ran upstairs, freaked out. She had me look in his room and verify he was there, after which she told me she had seen her brother in the hallway just a few minutes ago, and she followed him down the stairs. When she got to the bottom, he was gone. This was very weird, but it was late at night, and honestly, I thought she believed it happened, but it didn't actually happen. Well, then comes tonight. I'm in the downstairs bathroom. Don't judge me, it's Thanksgiving Eve, and I hear my son come down the stairs, walk down the hall, stand outside the door, and I see a shadow, and say, "Hey, Ma." So I say, "What's up, bro?" No response. So I say, "Yeah, Vin?" I hear him walk up the stairs, so I yell, "Broheim!" Nothing. So I called for him to find out what he wanted. He's utterly confused, in his VR game with other people that confirm he's been on call. I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm a tad freaked out and have no idea what the hell is going on. Thoughts? Case notes, file number 424. Okay, so we have 2 witnesses in this glitch, both the friends of your son who were on call with him, and the fact that this happened to your daughter as well. Clearly your son has some sort of ability to project himself astrally without noticing. One thing I've always wondered about that ability is if it drains one's spirit. I mean, you are splitting yourself up at least temporarily. It surprises me, but of the stories I've read, it does seem like it places no actual toll on the person doing it. Even to the point where they can be doing it without even knowing they are. They could be playing a game like in this instance, though typically it does seem like it happens to people when they're sleeping more. I don't think it's an energy issue. I think something happens in our minds that makes us more amenable to doing it. For me, this makes me wonder how many times we've managed to project our own soul around the world without even knowing we did. How many glitches we might be responsible for in the minds of others, and we don't even know at all. Case file number 425, written by keepingthingseevee. 3-foot gray man invades bedroom. Well, okay, let's just say it. He's an alien. I had this experience about 2 years ago. Some may argue that this experience was sleep paralysis, but I strongly disagree. It was very real. I was able to move and everything during this strange encounter. Normally, the experiences I've had in this house have been of the ghostly variety, nothing majorly noteworthy, but if there is interest, I can make a separate post for that as well. This was definitely not that. It started with me waking up in the middle of the night to my pet rats squeaking. I assumed, of course, that they were playing and one got upset at the other, so I sat up. I turned to my right to investigate their cage, which is close to my bed, only to see something I've never expected. It was a creature that I've seen and heard of from others, but never thought I'd ever see one myself. It was about 3 feet tall, based on my rat's cage that it stood next to, which was about 6 feet tall. It had a large bulbous head, dark gray skin, and big eyes. I knew that it was gray quite quickly. His skin seemed so smooth, with no flaw in its flesh at all. It even had a slight pearlescence to it that shined in the moonlight that peeked through my blinds. His eyes did not have a pupil, at least not that I could tell. They were also gray, yet I think there was a tinge of green. There were these strange squiggles and specks in the eyes, almost reminding me of space itself. Then nothing happened, or rather I woke up the next morning. I am almost certain he made me go back to sleep. I'm not sure who he was interested in, me or my rats. They were just fine when I checked in on them the next morning. No one was missing, and I did not feel different myself. I know this is a quick story, but like I said, not much did happen. I did not feel like I was in danger, but I still wonder what that was about in general. Sometimes I wonder if creatures like that just know you are interested in them. I think that may have been why I saw one. Thanks for listening. This has been etched in my brain for a while now. Case file number 426, written by Luna Lotus 90. When a kitchen item goes on a 3-day vacation. My bestie and I lived together in a very small apartment while in college. The kitchen only had one cabinet for our large stuff like my wok, a food processor, and a large pitcher. Everything in that cabinet wouldn't fit anywhere else in the kitchen, so both me and my bestie are extremely antisocial and introverted. So despite that we had lived there for 2 years, neither of us had made any real friends. We didn't have people over, we didn't have parties, and we didn't have people to borrow stuff from us. Anyways, one day, my bestie went to make Kool-Aid, and the pitcher was gone. He looked in the fridge wondering if I had already made some, and nope. We tore the kitchen apart looking for the pitcher, and with our minimalist bedrooms and living room, there was no doubt we wouldn't find it in there, but we looked all over the apartment anyways. It was just inexplicably gone. We tried to come up with theories of where it could have gone. He started thinking I threw it away because I tend to toss useless crap, but I was like, no, we use it all the time, and I'd remember doing that. So I started to think maybe maintenance stole it, but this was during the event that shall not be named. And we were home 24/7 doing online classes, and neither of us worked. We were just baffled. 2 days went by, and then we decided to make some beef and broccoli. My bestie opens up the cabinet to grab the wok, and the freaking pitcher is sitting in the damn cabinet like it didn't just go on a 3-day weekend. We were like, yo, what the hell? What was crazy was that it was placed exactly how I recall leaving it the last time I saw it, and put it in there. Upside down, lid off to the side, tilted against the food processor. I've already been convinced we live in a simulation prior to this, but that was the experience that finally brought my bestie on board, too. Case file number 427, written by Reenstarr. I didn't know they used cash in the afterlife. My grandma, whom I was very, very close to, passed away in 2014. Every birthday of mine she was alive for, she would have my mom buy her a greeting card and she would put $100 in to give to me. It was always in increments of 20s, since that's what the ATM gives you at the bank. I keep all of her cards, among a number of other keepsakes, in a box, and periodically go through them and reread her cute messages. I have about 20 to 22 cards from her, and it's not a lot to read, so I normally read them all when I miss her. One that always sticks out to me is one from my teen years where the card itself must have come with a number of stickers for you to fill in the front of the card, which was Happy XX Birthday on it. Grandma couldn't read English and left it blank, so I always thought it was a cute mistake. I got married in 2016 and naturally missed her immensely and was sad that she wasn't able to be there. Shortly after the wedding, my husband suggested I read her cards again because I was missing her. As I was going through the cards, the one with the blank age came up. I opened to read it. Mind you, I have opened and read this card many, many times, and out fell $20. Let me preface this by saying, my keepsake box has a lock on it. I have the key on my keychain at all times. Moreover, the box is sort of a hiding spot at my parents' house. I don't even think they know it exists. I strongly believe that it was impossible for someone else to have put $20 in there. Also, there's no reason that I wouldn't have taken the money out if I knew it was there. And I would have, since I recognize and have read this card countless times. It feels like it was put there by my grandma because she knows how much I miss and need her, and how sad I was that she couldn't attend my wedding. It felt like a little wedding gift from her. It makes sense, since she never had any increment other than $20 bills. Bonus file written by Mountain Gold, 4734. Our dearly departed baby son, the Astronaut. I'd like to share this experience with others because it's been a beautiful and perplexing thing for us. This is the kind of story I had previously heard about, but when it happens to you, it really is quite amazing. In April 2020, my partner and I sadly lost a son at 17 weeks gestation. I had an infection in my uterus, which was undetected, and after several days in hospital with some worrying symptoms, I went into premature labor. I was also septic, so after delivering our boy, I was very unwell. To say it was tragic and traumatic would be an understatement. We named him, and for the purposes of this post, we'll call him H. At the time, my older son, A, was 2.5 years old, too young to really understand anything except that Mummy was sick in the hospital. We haven't purposely not told him about H. We will in time, but there was no reason to confuse him at such a young age. We don't talk a lot about H at home. H is not a name that is familiar to our older son for any reason. In around July this year, I was driving A to a Saturday morning activity when he said, "Mummy, you should meet my friend H. He's here in the car with us," and pointed to the ceiling of the car. I didn't want to overreact or ask too much in case he felt the need to make things up, so I simply said, "That's good, eh? Is he a nice friend?" And he said yes. I told my partner and we both had the same reaction. Weird coincidence, but also kids have imaginary friends often, not a big deal. The next day, A told my partner that H is here when they were playing in our lounge room. My partner asked, "Oh, okay, where is he now?" And A pointed in the air to the corner of the room above where he keeps H's ashes, on the top of our bookshelf. A then said, "He's like an astronaut. He can float in space." A few days later, when my partner took A off to childcare, I gave A a kiss and hug as I always do at the front door. A then turned to his left and enthusiastically says, "Bye H, I'm off to school," before running out the door. By now, my partner and I are just looking at each other in absolute amazement. Over the next few weeks, this happened several more times. Sometimes A told us that H is asleep, so would stay in the car if we arrived at our destination. A also told me that H was in hospital, not an astronaut anymore. That freaked me out a little, as of course the only time we could hold H was in hospital. Our only memories of him physically were in that setting, but mostly these visitations felt special and a bit magical. The final time H visited, that we know of, occurred in the car again, just A and I. He told me, "H is here with us, Mummy," and curiosity got the better of me. I asked, "A, is H a man or a little boy with you?" And he said to me, with a tone like I really should know this already, "No, Mummy, H is just a little baby. Sometimes I can hold him." And he cradled his arms like he was holding a small baby. That was absolutely an holy crap moment, but also a wow moment. I was raised agnostic atheist, so it's all a bit overwhelming to ponder on too much, but we have decided it was H just letting us know he's okay and with us still, somehow. A few weeks later, I found out I was pregnant again. I like to think H was there with us through the early weeks, and is with us still, always a special part of our family. I do believe young children can see things we can't explain. I'm so glad A had this chance, though he most likely won't remember it. Thanks for listening along.